Premier Orthopedics, and the Bidwell Family Corporation are pleased to present the Atrium Medical Center Foundation Physician Hero Award to Dr. Raymond Kiefhaber. For more than 50 years, fellow physicians, hospital administration, and grateful patients have called Dr. Kiefhaber a hero, a man who leads with love and compassion, a man who has dedicated his life to the service of others. These qualities led the hospital's medical staff to unanimously choose Dr. Kiefhaber as its physician hero.
Dr. Kiefhaber is a legend in this community. He is the father of orthopedic surgery, coming into the community in 1960, servicing the hospital and the community for 8 years by himself, being on call every day, 365, for 8 years until he brought on a second partner. He has been a model of leadership, innovation, creativity, and it's all been selfless.
Dr. Kiefhaber was a pioneer for knee surgery replacement in this region, and my mother was a recipient of the first knee replacement by him at Middletown Hospital.
Senator Kiefhaber, one word I would use is visionary. People don't know it, but the health care of this entire Southwest Ohio community is better today because of his vision, his looking to the future.
Dr. Kiefhaber practiced in Middletown from 1960 until his retirement in 2010. Over the years, he has worked alongside 5 hospital presidents. He was a trustee on the board of Middletown Regional Hospital for 27 years and served as chief of staff from 1971 to 1973. In 1984, he was among the group of leaders who founded the foundation. After serving 10 years on the foundation board, in 2018, he rejoined. His attitude? There's always more to do. Dr. Kiefhaber's family and close friends call him Senator, a moniker his medical school fraternity brothers gave him because his name resembled that of Estes Kiefhaber, a popular U.S. senator at the time.
And he lived up to that nickname by the leadership that he showed at the hospital and in all the medical organizations that he was involved in. He felt a need for service.
Dr. Kiefhaber and his wife of more than 65 years, Jean Ann, were ardent supporters of the new Atrium Medical Center campus. When Atrium opened in 2007, the Kiefhabers gifted the hospital with 2 bronze sculptures, Girl with a Dove, which graces the hospital's main entrance, and Young Dancer at Rest, which is the focal point of an interior courtyard. Knowing that hospitals can be stressful places, the Kiefhabers intended the sculptures to radiate hope and serenity that is so important to wellness.
Senator was a happy camper with his practice for 50 years. He loved treating the patients, and was all his pleasure to be on the hospital boards. He worked most of the time at the old hospital, but now that he's at the new Atrium, he's enjoying his time on the Atrium Medical Center Foundation board.
Not long after opening his practice, Dr. Kiefhaber recruited a partner, Dr. Dwayne Langworthy, who would become a longtime friend.
In our practice, a couple of things that both of us really strive for. One was to be fair with our employees. And we were one of the first practices to start a retirement plan for our employees. And we practiced in a way that we felt was honest and ethical. If you can have 1 or 2 people in your life that you know is there, that you can depend on, you trust, you're fortunate.
To be a friend of the Kiefhabers is an honor and a privilege, because if you ever need or want for anything, they are there for you. He was always available to help anybody out that came, a new doctor that came to town. They would often take them out for dinner. They would host a party for them. to introduce them to other people so that their life wasn't restricted to doctors only. And it was just their kindness and their sharing.
In 1966, the Kiefhabers built their forever home, overlooking Middletown's Wildwood Golf Course. There, they raised 2 children, Thomas and Ann. Ray and Jean Ann are blessed with 3 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren. When asked about their greatest accomplishment in life, the Kiefhabers are quick to answer, our children.
We are very fortunate because they shower us with their generosity, with their fun spirit, and they show us a perfect example of the importance of being a great partner. As a child, I knew my father was a hero. Everywhere we would go in Middletown, people would stop and say thank you for helping them during a very difficult time, or to ask him advice on something that may ache at the time, and he always stopped and gave them his full attention to try to help them. Recently, a few years ago, I had the incredible coincidence of meeting another person who grew up in Middletown. She told me that she had been born with some very severe disabilities. Her parents were told that she would probably never walk. And she became my father's patient when he was very new in Middletown. And he worked with her until she took her first steps down his very long corridor in his first office and fell into his arms.
He wanted all of his partners to be successful, and he felt that the practice will only be as successful as the most junior partner. So he worked hard to make sure that people build a practice, they were confident in their decisions, and they made good decisions. He spent a lot of time mentoring people, but also encouraging them, supporting them in the community, and making sure that they had a successful practice. Dad's been a great supporter of Middletown Hospital, and when he was practicing, he supported it by assuring that quality was good, the right employees were hired, and that the hospital was headed in the right direction as far as its future. When he stopped practicing, well, from his leadership roles, he realizes that they do need financial support. And I think that this was a way for him to continue supporting the hospital, continue making sure it was successful and serving the community to its best abilities.
I can see why Dr. Kiefhaber is seen as a mentor to many. Endless, boundless energy, enthusiasm, compassion, genuine love for the community, genuine love for the hospital, and to be able to do it for 60 years. The fact that he's in his 90s and still has so much vigor and energy and enthusiasm for the hospital and community is really admirable. And I hope I can do that when I'm his age.
I'm very thankful and grateful to the medical staff for electing me to this honor. 60 years ago, my wife and I, with our 2 young children, moved to Middletown with the idea of starting an orthopedic practice. I was full of the up-to-date orthopedic knowledge, but knew very little about starting and operating a medical practice. Fortunately, the medical staff was very helpful. They gave me advice, and I became integrated into the staff very quickly. I found as the practice developed, the most enjoyable and best part was that I became part of people's lives temporarily, and I was happy to see them and enjoyed very much their return to normal health and function. While the practice was developing, our family was becoming integrated into the community. Our children started in schools. Jean Ann and I being part of the community and joining several community organizations. The family that I had supported me very much. I couldn't have done what I did without them. They were understanding. They held meals for me. They did all kinds of things that were above and beyond the call of normal. After an 8-year practice, I was busy, and fortunately, Dr. Dwayne Langworthy agreed to join me in the practice. We developed a wonderful practice, a wonderful friendship. We helped each other. We supported each other both in our work and in our family lives. And our wives were, both of our wives found that they were supportive, and they needed to be, as we both worked very hard. Dwayne and I built our practice, and over the years we were able to attract several other wonderful physicians into town. I also, after practicing several years, was selected or elected to the hospital board of trustees. During that stint, I learned that it was extremely complicated to operate and maintain a high-level hospital. The hospital and doctors needed to work together. They formed a team, a so-called village, and they today continue to work as a team, providing up-to-date health care for our community. I am again very truly grateful that the hospital, the medical staff elected me for this honor, and I am very proud to have been a member. Thank you.